Hello and welcome to yet another video on AI Pulse, presented by your mentor Vivek. Telling people they are talking to a machine used to be good manners. In the European Union, since the 2nd of August 2026, it is law. And this one touches me directly. Every video on this channel is narrated by an AI voice model and carries a disclosure. So let's read the actual text. And one thing up front, I am not a lawyer and this is not legal advice. The instrument is the EU AI Act, Regulation 2024-1689. The piece that became applicable is Article 50, the transparency obligations. And here's the part people miss. Article 50 does not care whether your system is classed as high risk. Chatbots, synthetic media generators, emotion recognition, deepfake tools, they are in scope either way. National authorities have been able to enforce it since that date. Penalties go up to 15 million euros or 3% of worldwide annual turnover, whichever is higher. That is the number that makes legal teams pay attention. 4 obligations. Note who each one lands on. Providers build the system. Deployers use it. They are not the same duty. Paragraph 1. On providers. If your system talks directly to people, you tell them it is an AI, unless that is already obvious to a reasonably well-informed person. Paragraph 2. And this is the technical one. Synthetic audio, image, video or text must be marked in a machine-readable format and detectable as artificially generated. The standard is effective, interoperable, robust, and reliable. Machine-readable. A sentence in your description does not satisfy this. Paragraph 3. On deployers. If you run emotion recognition or biometric categorisation, you inform the people exposed to it, and data protection law still applies on top. Paragraph 4. Deepfakes. Disclose them. Artistic and satirical work gets a lighter version of that duty. An AI-generated text published to inform the public must be disclosed, unless a human reviewed it and someone actually holds editorial responsibility for it. That carve-out is doing a lot of work, and it is worth reading twice. 3 details that keep getting dropped from the coverage. 1. There is a limited transitional period, but only for the marking and detection duty, and only for generative systems already on the market. Those have until the 2nd of December 2026. Every other obligation applied from August. 2. Paragraph 5 sets the timing and the quality bar. Clear and distinguishable. Delivered no later than the first interaction or exposure, and it has to meet accessibility requirements. Buried in a terms of service page does not count. 3. And this is the one that catches people outside Europe. This is not limited to EU companies. What matters is whether your system or its output reaches people in the Union. So what actually changes for people who build and publish? The center of gravity moves. Disclosure stops being a policy question and becomes a build requirement. Machine-readable provenance is something an engineering team ships, not a sentence somebody adds to a landing page. For this channel, every video is AI narrated. That is declared to the platform and written in the description. But I want to be precise. A platform disclosure and a machine-readable marking are related duties, not identical ones. Anyone shipping generative features should be reading the text itself, not my summary of it. So, etiquette became obligation. And honestly, the fine is the least interesting part. The interesting part is that how do you prove this was machine made is now an engineering problem with a deadline attached. Once again, I am not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, and the primary sources are in the description. If you found this useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for patient listening, and see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.